Greatest golf moments that shocked fans. Golf is a game rich in amazing and unique moments. Throughout the 2021 season, there have been many moments that have shocked the fans. In today's video, we will look at 12 memories from 2021 that you probably forgot about, ranging from magnificent to completely ludicrous. Stay tuned as we look back on the greatest, brightest, and funniest moments from the previous year. Let's get started. The gossip amongst the boys isn't terrific, says January. The discussion at the Farmers Insurance Open in January was not positive. It was, honestly, terribly, extremely horrible. Another year, another Patrick Reed victory, and yet another Patrick Reed rule controversy. The relitigation, however, will have to wait for another day. Today's task is to recall possibly the best single comment of the golf season, delivered by Xander Schauffele in the aftermath of the Reed rules debate. The boys' talk isn't fantastic, Schauffele remarked, but he's protected by the tour, so it is guessed that's all that matters. The remark quickly spread around the golfing internet, with users discovering that the conversation amongst the boys could be used in almost any scenario to communicate almost any emotion or sensation. All in good fun, of course. Today, the boys are thankful for having received such a fantastic line from such a fantastic player. Homer's home victory in February. Max Homer is one of the few PGA Tour players to call Southern California, and notably, Los Angeles, home. Homer has extensive ties to Los Angeles, including the teams for whom he has remained a devoted supporter, the Lakers and Dodgers, as well as his golf idol, Tiger Woods, who grew up in adjacent Orange County. It stands to reason, then, that Homer's victory at the Genesis Invitational in February was a watershed moment. It was a fitting victory for the California native, a walk-off victory on his home course, in an event hosted by Tiger Woods. A moment he described as a dream come true. Bryson enters the stratosphere in March. Many people speculated on the potential benefit of Bryson DeChambeau's distance transformation. Sure, it appeared to propel him to victory at the US Open at Winged Foot in September 2020, but the bigger question remained: could he revolutionize the game? Bryson changed the game for at least a little minute on Saturday afternoon at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. The epiphany occurred on the 6th hole, a 531-yard par 5 that loops around a lake. For most rational players, it's a 2 or the 3-shot hole, a dive right off the water, followed by an approach in the green. Bryson, on the other hand, had a different plan. DeChambeau reasoned that with his newfound length, if the wind was correct, he'd be able to clear the sea, a 380-yard drive. On Saturday, he achieved just that, blasting a drive into the ether while a boisterous throng cheered him on. Bryson screamed at the ball as it sailed over the lake a few seconds after creating content. He shot an eagle on the hole, giving golf one of its most significant touchpoint moments in 2021. April, a memorable tribute. The first April Master in 2 years was a welcome return to the sport's first major. The azaleas were blooming again. Augusta National was bustling with visitors, and Alistair Mackenzie's stunning design had recovered its April vigor. The return of golf to its customary schedule for the first time since the world was turned upside down 13 months ago was an oddly emotional experience. Even though so much had altered, the Ghosts of Sunday performed a show for the ages. Hideki Matsuyama became the first Japanese-born player to wear the green jacket, but the tournament's most notable moment occurred in the seconds following his victory. Shota Hayafuji, Matsuyama's caddy, lagged behind him as he approached the winner's circle. He bowed in the direction of the course as he removed the flag from the 18th pin. Phil, May? At 50? He did do that. Yes, at the age of 50. Yes, it was one of the most incredible victories in recent memory. Yes, he became golf's oldest major champion. And no, we're not going to forget it anytime soon. Rahm's redemption in June. Without Jon Rahm's June, it would be tough to narrate the story of golf in 2021. The Spaniard led the Memorial Tournament by 6 strokes before a post-COVID test forced him to withdraw before the final round. Rahm was taken aback by the positive test result, but he handled it with elegance. His next start didn't come until the US Open at Torrey Pines, where Rahm won his first major on his first Father's Day. as a father with improbable birdies on the 71st and 72nd holes. a remarkable ascent in July. Collin Morikawa's first major championship was preceded by an asterisk, but his second was followed by an exclamation point. Any doubts raised by Morikawa's victory at the fanless, thrill-less PGA Championship at TPC Harding Park were swiftly dispelled when he defeated the field at the Open Championship. The fact that the competition was staged at one of the game's most famous tracks, Royal St. George's, further added to his triumph. With the triumph, Morikawa became the youngest player to win 2 major championships since a fella named Tiger, ever heard of him? Establishing him as the game's best young player in a crowded field of young talent. Augusta, America, America. The Americans had a double-header at the Tokyo Olympics, with Xander Schauffele and Nelly Korda winning gold in the men's and women's events, respectively. Xander's victory was the best of his career in an event with little depth but a lot of sparkles. The triumph for Nelly was the latest in a summer of declarations of a dominance in the women's game, a decisive victory in what was a very loaded field. More importantly, the event served as golf's Olympic debut following a rocky start in 2016. Even though it took place at a strange hour for American audiences, the event proved to be a lot of fun and showed that golf deserved to be among the best athletes in the world. Now, regarding that team event. A new era September. Thank God the United States Ryder Cup team did not hire Steve Stricker as its public relations director, because he would not have survived the month leading up to the tournament. The weeks leading up to the Whistling Straits were fraught with claims of team strife, Bryson, Brooks squabbles, and worst of all, a growing fear that the Europeans would keep the cup for another 2 years. However, once the game began, such fears were immediately dispelled. The Americans came out blazing and never looked back, winning 19-9 in one of the largest blowouts in Cup history. The Europeans were the side looking out of hope and out of sorts on Sunday, which was a refreshing change of pace for the Americans. The after-party, which featured the best custom t-shirts of the 2021 season, only served to emphasize the theme of the week. It's all about the United States of America, all the time. Bryson enters the stratosphere, again in October. Bryson DeChambeau's journey to the World Long Drive Championships was one of the oddest happenings in golf this year. It became one of the greatest when it got closer to the big man's 400-yard bombs and like-minded mates. Bryson advanced to the competition's final 8, which was eventually won by his personal buddy, Kyle Berkshire. But in reality, the week was never about winning the long drive. It was about bringing oxygen to a sport that desperately needed it. Consider Brian's purpose achieved in that regard. A GIR to remember in November. In November, Jim Young Co. achieved the quietest golf record of all time, an iron woman streak that no player will ever break. Co nailed 63 straight greens in regulation in 1 week. 63! Tiger Woods' highest GIR streak was 29 during his memorable 2000 season. Mike Heinen was the only player with a run longer than 50 in the recent quarter century, and he fell far short of 60 GIRs. Naturally, Co's streak coincided with a resounding victory at the CME Championship, but it's also a streak that won't be repeated anytime soon. The return in December. Okay, perhaps you didn't overlook this one. I mean, it happened just now. However, this does not diminish its worth. Tiger Woods returned to golf 9 months after his near-fatal single-car accident. He accomplished it with the help of his son, Charlie, who is swiftly establishing himself as a serious player in his own right. And he competed so well that he opened up the possibility for himself to return to meaningful competition in the future. Golf has had a wonderful year, but with Woods potentially returning to major championships, 2022 might be even better. What was the greatest, brightest, and funniest moments from the previous year according to you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.